Right, let's talk about travel in 2026, because on the surface, the headlines look brilliant. Cheap flights, trending destinations, golden age of deals. But dig underneath that, and there's a rather more complicated picture. Some genuinely exciting stuff, some deeply frustrating stuff, and one or two things that are going to affect you directly, whether you've thought about them or not. Let's go through it properly. The flights are genuinely cheaper, but there's a catch. International airfares are down around 10% compared to last year, making long-haul trips more accessible than they've been in years. Adjusted for inflation, we are sitting close to historically low airfare prices. Encyclopedia Britannica says yes, if you're shopping for a flight right now, it is, broadly speaking, a good time to do it. But here's what the travel industry press conveniently glosses over. Cheap flights do not equal cheap holidays. When a destination trends, a TV show, a viral reel, and influencers highlight, airlines pour capacity in, fares drop, and then every other cost spikes. Hotels, restaurants, tours, museum reservations. What you saved on the flight, you spend on the ground, and then some. Encyclopedia Britannica, we watched it happen with Sicily after White Lotus. We watched it happen with Tokyo, with Iceland, with Dubrovnik. The same dynamic is playing out right now with wherever is trending this month. If you're booking somewhere because you saw it on your phone, assume you are not getting a bargain. You're paying for the algorithm's attention. Where are people actually going? 7 of the top trending destinations globally are in Eastern Europe, driven by affordability, cultural depth, and genuinely improved transport connections. Tbilisi in Georgia is getting a lot of traction. So is El Salvador. Visitor numbers there have grown by 81% since 2019, which is a remarkable turnaround for a country that wasn't on most people's radars a few years back. 84% of younger travelers say they'd rather visit a rural area or smaller city than a major hub. Lower prices, thinner crowds, more authentic experiences. And the data's backing that up. Secondary cities are growing faster than traditional tourist centers across Asia and Europe. If you want to be ahead of the curve rather than part of the problem, look just outside the obvious. There's also a big solar eclipse on the 12th of August this year, crossing northern Spain, the Balearics, and Iceland. If that's on your radar and you haven't booked, you are already behind. The bigger shifts nobody's talking about enough. Climate change is now a genuine factor in how people plan trips. 45% of travel advisors report their clients are changing plans because of it, most often shifting towards shoulder season travel to avoid extreme heat and preferring destinations with moderate climates. Axios, the traveler who went to Japan in August and found it unbearable at 40 degrees, is no longer an outlier. She's a case study. Related to this, noctourism is genuinely on the rise, visiting places like Kyoto's famous districts after dark, when the temperatures have dropped and the crowds have largely gone home. Janes says it sounds niche, but it's a genuinely intelligent response to over-tourism and climate simultaneously. File that one away. Wellness travel has also matured well beyond spa weekends. It now covers everything from Ayurvedic programs in India to silent retreats in Canada, and people are increasingly framing it as a long-term health investment rather than a luxury. And then there is AI. Travel companies are using it to personalize offers and pricing. Travelers are using it to build itineraries. 49% of people are now exploring destinations virtually before they book, using VR hotel tours, street view, and short-form video to preview a trip. House of Commons Library says the planning process has become part of the holiday itself, which is either exciting or deeply concerning, depending on your relationship with your phone. Now, America. This is the part you actually need to know. The United States has made traveling there significantly more complicated and more expensive for a large portion of the world's population, and it's getting almost no mainstream coverage in the travel press because travel press doesn't want to scare off the affiliate revenue.
Here is what has actually happened.
The US State Department launched a pilot program in August 2025 requiring B1 and B2 visa applicants, that's tourists and business visitors, from certain countries to post a refundable bond of between $5,000 and $15,000 before a visa can be issued, Al Jazeera. The bond is returned when you leave on time. If you overstay or if anything goes sideways, you lose it. The program, which started with 2 countries, has been expanded to cover 38 nations, now including Venezuela, Algeria, Bangladesh, Cuba, Nepal, and Nigeria, among others, Encyclopedia Britannica. On top of that, a new visa integrity fee of $250 has been added under recent legislation, global security, on top of existing application fees. So for nationals of affected countries, visiting America is now not just a visa application, it's a substantial financial commitment up front, with real money at stake. If you're a British passport holder, you're currently not affected. Visa waiver program countries are exempt. But this is worth knowing, for 2 reasons. First, because you almost certainly travel with people or work with people for whom this is a very real barrier. Second, because the direction of travel, if you'll forgive the phrase, is worth watching. Policies like this have a habit of expanding. Critics have pointed out that if this is implemented at scale, it risks decimating inbound tourism to America, since tourists spend over $200 billion annually in the US, spending that counts as exports, International Trade Union Confederation. The irony of an administration focused on reducing the trade deficit, introducing a policy that experts say will reduce American exports, is not lost on everyone. So, what's the summary? 2026 is a genuinely good year to travel if you're willing to be thoughtful about it. Flights are cheaper, destinations outside the algorithm's spotlight offer real value. The world is shifting towards smaller cities, towards shoulder seasons, towards travel that means something rather than travel that photographs well. But the world is also more complicated. Geopolitics are affecting flight routes and travel insurance. Climate is affecting when and where you can comfortably go, and access for a significant portion of the world's population is getting harder, not easier. Travel is still one of the best things a human being can do. It's also no longer something you can do on autopilot. Plan properly, look beyond the obvious, and maybe, just maybe, go somewhere nobody on your Instagram is going. I'll see you in the next one.